guardians, families, community members, staff, and most importantly, welcome to the graduating class of 2025. I'm honored to welcome you to Smith Academy's commencement ceremony this evening. Would you please rise for our national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streamed, whose red stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the class of 2025 graduation. We are so happy to have you here celebrating our graduates tonight. Each of us have worked incredibly hard to be here, and I'm so proud to be surrounded by this wonderful class. This evening, you will hear speeches from our third honors, salutatorian, valedictorian, and from a very special teacher that has been an incredible mentor to us, Mr. Garrett. And now, would you please welcome our principal, Dr. Driscoll.
Good evening, and I'm pleased to introduce your class of 2025 speakers. You'll be hearing from your third honors recipient, Caitlin Graves, your salutatorian, Lucas Punska, and your valedictorian, Ian Gazowski. I'm so happy that you have the opportunity to speak on behalf of your class this evening, and I congratulate you on the hard work it took to earn these spots.
Good evening, everyone, families, friends, staff, and fellow graduates of the class of 2025. I'm very grateful to be here in front of you all today. But honestly, when I first started to write this speech, I had no idea where to start. I could talk about the many memories we've shared as a class, the challenges we faced together, or the importance of this community we've built over the past 6 years together at Smith Academy. Ultimately, I decided that it would be best to write a few letters, one to address each of these. First, to my classmates. We've waited for this moment since we stepped into Smith Academy on the first day of 7th grade 6 years ago. Our expectations high, stress levels low, and eager to begin a new chapter at a new school. Everything seemed so far away back then, like we would stay young forever. I remember walking through the halls and seeing the seniors tower over us. It seemed impossible that one day that would be us. And finally, after 6 years of hard work and dedication, we find ourselves in that impossible moment, about to say goodbye to the things and people that have become so familiar to us. During our time at Smith Academy, we've experienced everything together. We've achieved success and had a fair number of challenges. We've learned so much in the classrooms, we've won countless games alongside each other, and laughed uncontrollably while trying our best to act out Shakespeare plays with Mr. Brown during English class. These are moments that we can always look back on to put a smile on our faces. When we were faced with challenges, we pushed ourselves and made it out to see the other side. Our class is resilient and does not get knocked down easily. Obviously, the COVID pandemic had a huge impact on our high school experience. Remote learning changed everything. We were welcomed to high school with online classes, covered faces, and on top of that, we had to learn how to balance schoolwork with extracurricular activities, which is never easy. If there's one thing that I've learned, it's that overcoming obstacles makes us stronger. And even when things don't turn out how we thought they would, it isn't always a bad thing. I couldn't have asked for better classmates to be by my side on this journey, and while I am sad that we are leaving this part of our lives behind, I know these relationships we've built will stay true forever. To the staff, without you, we would not be standing on this stage today. Your unwavering dedication, support, and patience throughout our time here has not gone unnoticed, and I am truly grateful for all that you have done. You have not only shared with us your knowledge, but you have also taught us valuable life lessons that we will carry with us for the rest of our lives. You have challenged us to grow, not only as students, but as individuals. You've shown us the importance of hard work, kindness, and confidence. The environment you have created at Smith Academy is so special. You have created a place where we feel welcome, seen, and respected. No matter the gesture, whether it's a simple wave in the hall or checking in with us about our day, you've made Smith Academy feel like a second home. You have given us the tools we need to be successful in our next chapter, whether we're attending college or joining the workforce. We will carry the lessons you've taught us wherever we will go. Thank you for believing in us, even when we didn't believe in ourselves. To our families in the Hatfield community, you've been there for us since day one, and your support has been constant. I think I speak for all of us when I say we are truly grateful for everything you've done to prepare us for this day. Whether you were supporting us at class fundraisers, winter concerts, or sports games, we couldn't have asked for a better group of people to cheer us on and encourage us to do our best. Growing up in Hatfield, the schools are such an integral part of the community. They are a place where we are taught to get involved and make a positive difference in the world, to not only dream big, but to chase our dreams with confidence and pride. Being part of a small town is special because we have made so many connections with community members. We've shared so many milestones with all of the families here today and created many unforgettable memories. It's almost like we're all one huge family. Everyone is always so welcoming and wants to contribute to our successes. At the end of the day, that's what sets Hatfield apart from other communities. We all want what's best for each other, and with that comes a strong sense of unity, pride, and support. Parents, without you, none of this would be possible. We know the sacrifices you made and are grateful for them. We see the time and energy you've put into supporting us. You have inspired us and shown us the value of family with your unconditional love, hard work, compassion, and dedication. And finally, to the underclassmen. If I could give advice to my younger self, it would be to take a breath, relax, and just have fun. It's okay to feel nervous. We are all scared of the unknown, even the people who you might think have it all figured out. Do not compare yourself to others. Even if we are all on the same path, we have different experiences along the way that shape us into who we are. Be curious. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Get involved. Participate in class and school activities. Make the most of your time here because it really does fly by. This time is a gift. Don't let it get away from you. Be present and enjoy every day. Sometimes we get so caught up about finishing an assignment or meeting expectations that we don't pause to appreciate everything else happening in the moment. We are lucky enough to attend a school that is full of opportunities. You just have to be brave enough to grab hold of them. High school is a time to figure out who you are. Take chances, step outside your comfort zone, learn from mistakes, overcome challenges, and persevere. There will be good days and bad days, and all of these days will contribute to your growth. As we walk off the stage tonight, we will all be moving on to new experiences. But we will move forward together, knowing we will always have each other and all of the memories that had led us to our next adventure. Thank you.
Thank you, all of you, for being here tonight. Resilience, love, and change. This is what we need to succeed in the world. But before we get to what these keys of success are, if you will, let's first understand what it means to succeed. Well, the meaning of success is very individualistic. It may mean becoming a doctor in veterinary medicine, protector of the trees, nurse, elementary school teacher, or whatever else. Vastly different as they may seem, they do share one common thread. They all bring this achiever purpose and happiness. And that is the essence of success, happiness and purpose. Now, on to our keys. Having resilience can help you be happy. For those of you who don't know, I quit public speaking halfway through the year. And for those who don't know why, it's because that class once resulted in me having a panic attack that made me forget how to breathe for a number of seconds. But good news is, I'm here now. And as weird as this is for me to say, I am glad I'm doing this speech. While I may not have been resilient back in the 10th grade, I am now. I know I'm resilient because I had an easy way out. I could have just said, no, I don't want to do the speech. There was more than one person who told me, maybe you shouldn't do the speech. But I did the speech. And I know that since I somehow managed to stand before all of you today, I know that each and every one of you can be resilient as well. And while it is tough, it is certainly possible. And something else that's tough, choosing to love despite all the negativity we may see. And Mr. Garrett here, he studied a lot of World War II in college. See, it sounds off track, but bear with me. He wanted to know what could drive someone such as, say, Hitler to do such atrocities to the world. His answer was that hatred and darkness live inside all of us. Which is kind of dark for someone who lives on the corner of Hope and Prospect Street, but I digress. Well, sure, I agree with that. I want to add something that might turn that on its head. Because we all have this darkness living inside us, I feel that makes the need to express love and be more loving to one another that much more important. While you may not know what you want in life, if you are a loving person, that's already quite purposeful. If that wasn't good enough of a reason to love, let's try this. People who love are smarter. Let me explain. We are designed to distrust and dislike someone not like us. Someone who has different beliefs than us, someone who may not look like us, live like us, someone who doesn't love like us. And humans have survived these many millennia by being cautious of things or people that we are unfamiliar with. So to be kind is to retrain our brain and evolve past one of our most primal instincts. And by retraining or evolving our brain, we in turn become much smarter. As the governor of Illinois put it, the kindest person in the room is often the smartest. And how does kindness relate to love? Simple. Kindness is an expression of love. So that's why I believe kindness is a much better measure of someone's intelligence than their ability to add decimals. And Jeff Goldblum once said in that movie of his that life finds a way. Through any change that life has endured, it has taken it and used it as an advantage. And now, I think life is flourishing. Yes, everyone has multiple plights, but from a topical view, life's doing pretty good for itself. Now, how has life wielded this change as an advantage, and how can we? It uses change to constantly better itself again and again and again. And that's what we do. Look at every change, no matter how big or small, and think, how can I take advantage of this? How can I use this to better myself? Sounds exhausting, but after implementing it in our lives enough times, it becomes second nature. And for those who don't believe they have to improve themselves because they're already perfect, it's not true. It's just not. No one will ever hit a state of perfection in any concentration. If anyone thinks that's blasphemy, I agree with you. I didn't even fully believe myself when I just read that. Still trying to come to terms with that. However, I am working on it, allowing that change of mindset to take root. And self-betterment, because of change, can also increase purpose. It helps someone become more in tune with what they like, with who they are, what they like, what they don't like, what they value, and what they don't care for. So, looking at every change as a positive helps us better ourselves. And bettering ourselves, as aforementioned, leads to happiness and purpose, also known as success. That brings us back to the beginning. We need resilience, love, and change to succeed. Resilience for happiness, love for purpose, and so we can be smart. Change for constant self-betterment, which increases happiness and purpose. So, again, make sure you remember those 3 words and act on them. Doing so will bring success into your life, whatever that may look like for you. Thank you.
Hello, thank you all for being here tonight. When I first started writing this speech, I was trying so hard not to make it cheesy. But then I realized that that's what graduation speeches are all about. Looking back on it, the time really flew by. They say that time flies when you're having fun. So I wanted to take a moment to express my gratitude to all of the people who have made our time at Smith Academy both enjoyable and exciting every day. First, I would like to thank my parents for always encouraging me to give my 100% effort and be passionate about school. You have always been my biggest role models in life. Thank you to my sister Lila for setting such a good example for me and helping me with school as well. All of our family members have given it their all and made sacrifices so that we can be in the positions that we're in today. I believe I speak for everyone on this stage right now when I say that our time at Smith Academy has been memorable, despite a few strange bumps in the road. I've known most of these people since kindergarten, with a few exceptions, and it has been an incredible experience. If there's one thing that I had to say about our class, I would say that we were always engaged in our community. Whether it's playing sports, getting good grades, working outside of school, playing music, being part of student council, creating the yearbook, or a number of other things, everyone always had something on their agenda. Every person in this class has a work ethic that I believe will push them through whatever is coming next for them in life. Not only did we work hard together, we also had fun together. Our friendships were formed by all of the jokes in class, hanging out after school, bus rides to sports games, school events, heated debates with Mr. Brown, and so much more. We also went on a lot of fun trips together, whether it was DC, Philadelphia, New York City, or even Panama. We will never forget those great experiences. I have a quick message for any current Smith Academy students in the audience. Smith Academy is a very small school, which builds a tightly knit community. There are always opportunities to participate in this community, and I will speak from experience when I say that you should take them. Try playing a new sport, go to school dances, dress up for Spirit Week, help with community service, go to school events, or try out a fun new X-Block elective. Before you know it, you'll be up here on this stage, reflecting on all of your positive memories that you made at Smith Academy. And now is the time to go make those memories. Next, I would like to give a few thank yous to our incredible staff. Every year, people get up on the stage and talk about how unique and special it is to go to a small school like Smith Academy. And that wouldn't be possible without our teachers. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to spend as much time in person with the middle school teachers due to the COVID pandemic, but I remember how they kept classes entertaining even behind a computer screen. I would like to thank Senora Baranowski for always making classes fun and always giving us funny stories. I would like to thank Mr. Garrett for always being committed to helping us learn as much as possible. I've never met someone with as much hope and optimism about the education process and people as a whole. I would like to thank Mr. Brown for bringing the energy that would always get us fired up for class and encouraging us to learn how to express our ideas. I would like to thank Ms. Gardner for doing everything that she can to make sure our band is as strong as possible. Being a band director at a smaller school is not easy, and I don't think people understand just how much time she puts in outside of the school day. I'd like to thank Dr. Legrand for putting up with all of our complaining and mental breakdowns in AP Calc. I would like to thank all of our sports coaches for teaching us the importance of hard work and how to build mental toughness. Thank you to the lunch staff for making tasty food for us every day. Thank you to our janitors, Mr. Volliger and Mr. Oates, for keeping Smith Academy going and always making it feel like home. I wish I could sit up here all night and say something about every teacher in the building, but I would probably be here until tomorrow morning. All I can say is that every teacher and staff member at Smith Academy is well loved and respected by everyone. You have all made a lasting impact on all of our lives, and I have no doubts that you will keep making those impacts on future classes. I was thinking for a while about how I was going to end this speech, but eventually I came up with an idea. Thanks to Miss Jackie and Miss Riley in the office, every morning I would get the chance to do the morning announcements, and Mr. Duncan gave me the idea of saying inspirational quotes at the end. It feels appropriate for me to end my speech with one last quote, so I decided to go with this one from the late, great David Bowie. I don't know where I'm going from here, but I promise it won't be boring. Based on all of the years that I've spent with my fellow classmates, I believe that the same will be true for them as well. One last time, thank you to everyone here tonight who have helped us along the way, because none of us would be here without you. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2025.
The class of 2025 gives 2 picnic tables to Smith Academy. Any remaining funds will be gifted to the class of 2026.
On behalf of Smith Academy, we graciously accept this most generous gift, and we wish you all the best of luck as you move on to this next chapter of your life.
Our guest speaker tonight has been a teacher at Smith Academy for over a decade. From day one, he has been the Renaissance man of the high school. In other words, he wears many different hats. In his classroom, he teaches history with creativity and passion. In his Dungeons & Dragons club, he commits to the role 100%, voicing characters like Roderick the Porcupine Wizard from Brooklyn. Last year, he even joined a last-minute floor hockey challenge in jeans and work boots. He does it all. He puts his heart and soul into his teaching. When attending his classes, he inspires us to be positive citizens and caring people. And he's perhaps the only person who gets giddy when receiving a jury summons. He's our North Star, our academic lighthouse, our glow stick at a rave. He's our very own Mr. John Garrett.
Congratulations to the Smith Academy graduating class of 2025, and congratulations to the community that these students are a part of. Thank you to everyone who physically made this event happen, especially Ms. Shanafelt, the class of 2025 advisor, Madam Boyle, our graduation advisor, and Mark Vollinger, our custodian. A special shout out to Mr. Brown for taking the time to blow up all the balloons. Impressed he was able to get them to float. A very special and important shout out to my wife, Nikki, and our son, Thomas, for giving me the space I needed to write this speech. It's an absolute honor to be here to mark the coming of age of this group of bright and motivated young people. In an uncertain world, it seemed appropriate to highlight the positive, especially considering that an event like this is an act of hope. A few weeks ago, on my way to work, inspiration hit, courtesy of the Massachusetts Department of Public Transportation. Near exit 27, an electronic signboard read, "Support public works. Drive slowly and carefully." A humble and pretty routine message, but one that can lead to a deeper reflection. The rest of this speech will make more sense if I mention some of the roles I hold inside and outside of this school district. I teach AP US Government and Politics, US History 2. In addition, outside of work, I serve on the Greenfield City Council. All of these have a shared mission of promoting the stability and strength of a Republican form of government. For our system of self-government to thrive and be directed towards advancing a common purpose, we need a citizenry that is vigilant, informed, and virtuous. Virtues are good habits, and beyond that, they are ways of being. The founders of our republic were well versed in the classical history of ancient Rome and Greece. And those cultures, as well as ours at the founding, placed civic virtue of their conception of how liberty would be maintained. This is beyond simply being a good person. One can be humble, one can be kind, and just generally wonderful. But if you live as a hermit, you are doing little for society as large. Civic duty requires that these behaviors and habits of mind improve the lives of others. It may seem silly, but driving through a work zone slowly is exactly the kind of behavior our founders were talking about. When one speeds in a multi-ton vehicle, it becomes more dangerous to others. Force equals mass times acceleration. Thank you, Ms. Petra. The faster an automobile goes, the more force it inflicts on impact. By paying attention and going carefully, we reflect on the consequences of our actions, making a deadly collision less likely. The road itself is a manifestation of civic virtue. We share and pay for it collectively. It benefits everyone who uses it. The work being done on it helps ensure that life and limb is not in danger as a result of it existing. So being virtuous as an individual in a society has a positive impact on the collective. It also, happily, has a positive impact on the individual. A purpose-driven life, one in which your civic duty plays a central role, is one in which you become the best version of yourself. People that are the best versions of themselves do public works that play to their strengths and connect them to their communities and society. The paths of fulfillment's already in front of the graduates next to me. They are in fact already walking it, or driving it, if we want to extend the metaphor over and over again. The bulk of the rest of this speech will be a meditation on how these values are exercised already by the young people on this stage, specifically, and how they impact our societies and communities more generally. The first set of virtues I want to highlight are courage, honor, and humility. A society of brave, honorable, and humble people is one in which doing the right thing is default. Enough folks like that, and you are guaranteed to have a government that does the same. Courage is the ability to take constructive action in the face of fear or danger. Franklin Delano Roosevelt's claim that we have nothing to fear but fear itself is exemplified by Lucas Punska. Mr. Punska is a young man who constantly pushes him outside his comfort zone. Every year I've known him, he has grown more successful in doing so. I'm incredibly proud of the work he has done staring fear in the eye and standing back up. Standing firm and doing what is right in the face of unpopularity or even danger is a vital bulwark against harm or evil. Cowardice is the vice that causes one to fail to take needed action in the face of fear. In addition, failing to have a sense of right and wrong is in itself an act of cowardice. There's no opting out of being a self-governing people. Cynicism is a refuge for cowards. If there's a part of our world that you do not like, be courageous and try to change it. Having honor means to have good character and to be trustworthy. I asked myself, which two students in this graduating class could I trust to transport $1 million in unmarked bills? Happily, I came up with a list of more than two, but I wanted to highlight Caitlin Graves and Jake Wilcox. Caitlin recently mentioned to me that she had voted in her first election. I appreciated it, I was thrilled, but it led me to reflect that I had no doubt in my mind at all that Ms. Graves would vote. Participating in our democracy is the right thing to do, and Caitlin is the kind of person who does the right thing. Mr. Wilcox was described by a peer as not bringing anything to the table because he brought the table. He is, for lack of a better phrase, a professional in his work as a teacher assistant for Mr. Richards' physical education classes. Honor builds trust, and trust is the only thing that allows us to have a functional society. Humility means recognizing one's limitations, but also the value of others. A humble person is willing to put others ahead of themselves, not just in words, but also in actions. Emma Charnetsky was a student in AP Government last year for approximately 1 week. She very politely withdrew because she felt it would be getting too much for her in addition to her other classes. Getting back to the metaphor of the highway sign, I've also heard that she is a very cautious driver, and that is a perfect example of humility. Last year, I had the pleasure of watching Alexa wrangle small children in a tiny village in the mountains of Panama. They obviously only spoke Spanish, and she mentioned several times how quickly they spoke and how hard it was to follow. Nonetheless, she persevered. And by the end of the trip, she had a fan club of about a dozen kids. It's hard to tell, they move very fast. Humble leadership is powerful, slowing down to make room for others. It is the opposite of arrogant hubris, a kind of vanity that leads to self-destruction of individuals and the groups they are part of. The second set of virtues I want to mention are integrity, justice, and moderation. Judgments made with a strong moral core are how we as a society keep from breaking. A person of integrity keeps one's promises, they tell the truth, and they bring untruths to light. To have integrity means having a core honesty that one cannot put aside. The first person that came to mind for this virtue was Miles Hainsworth. In 10th grade, I remember having a conversation with him in the library about something he had said that was inappropriate. I don't remember the specifics, but I do remember him saying that he would think about what we had discussed and do his best to change. Most of all, I remember recognizing he was being completely honest. It's not uncommon for a teen to say they'll think about something, but it's rare to so easily believe it. A quick story about Robert Slish also involves me having to admonish him for a relatively minor infraction. When I asked him if he did it initially, he pretended to lie, rolling his eyes theatrically back and forth. He then proceeded to readily admit it on a second query. For both of these gentlemen, I want to emphasize that they also manifest their integrity in pro-social ways. It just takes the deepest internal honesty to admit when one is at fault. A just person upholds what is fair and right, respecting the dignity of all. Many teenagers have an inherent sense of justice. It simply is not fair that we have to take a test today. Didn't you say that X, Y, and Z? Some seem compelled to seek justice of a higher kind. Rachel Grogan has had many a conversation with me on morality. It's just not right, having been spoken many times. The thing is, she's almost always spot on. I couldn't count the number of times that Jack Brady has drawn an analog from history and injustice to discuss something happening in the present. The injustice of applying unequal rules to others and compared to oneself is perhaps one of the greatest threats to any relationship or republic. Exercising moderation means to avoid excess or extremes. It's especially important as part of group dynamics. Somebody boiling over can be forced to reflect on their excesses when a cooler personality is in the room. I also find it interesting that folks like Annabelle and Connor are both students who are dedicated and hardworking, but lack any self-aggrandizement or arrogance. They both listen more than they speak. When they choose to speak, people listen. Every page of shame in the history books has come when moderation has been thrown to the wind. Moderation does not mean cowardly caution. It means pragmatism in policy and in action. Moderate people in governments don't get folks roaring into a frenzy, but instead allow room for others to think and follow their thoughtful examples. The final set of virtues I wanted to highlight are prudence, respect, and responsibility. These three, in a sense, apply these other ideals in the form of civic responsibility. Prudence is a kind of practical wisdom, so-called common sense, that applies reason and other virtues to determine the right course of action. I've seen Garrett, aka Bronarth the Barbarian, make very prudent choices in his sheepdogging of 7th graders during the times I've covered the phys ed classes he TAs. Ryan McCoy, or should I say Ragnar, the Barbarian as well, is a deliberate decision maker. That old chestnut, if your friends jumped off a bridge, would you do it? Is easy to answer for him, not unless it was a very good idea. A government that doesn't have people in it that are prudent will do more harm than good. To practice respect means regarding everyone as equals, deserving of dignity, including oneself. One of the things I appreciate about Ian is how much he reflects on the perspective of others. During discussions of political parties and AP government, he regularly acknowledged the validity of views that he disagreed with, even while holding very strong ones of his own. He also respected the opinions of others when he offered hypotheticals. Would you rather fight 100 horses the size of a chicken with your bare hands? Or a chicken the size of a horse, but you have a broomstick? Weighty stuff. Piper last year in News Literacy would consistently explain her friend's off-the-wall behavior in the most understanding way possible. Did she get annoyed? Of course. They were ridiculous. But she reflexively made the effort to understand what their motivation was. Madison Zanoni is one of the most generous students in the school, but the way she shares is incredibly respectful. Did she really make the cupcake she's handing you specifically for you? Maybe, maybe not. but she seems to believe that everyone deserves one, and that makes all the difference. It's commonly said that to get respect, you must give respect. This view, however, can lead to contempt, the disregard or dismissal of another. Contempt can lead to the denial of the basic inalienable equality of all human beings. By imbuing respect into our souls, we instead elevate others to that basic dignity. Responsibility is acting on the good judgments about what is right and wrong for the benefit of yourself, your family, and society. In other words, doing your civic duty. Jacob Barkham takes his chosen duties incredibly seriously. I've watched him write what appeared to be the entire AP chemistry curriculum on my whiteboard because he wanted to study. He's still in high school, and they're trying to draft him to be a manager at Target. Cameron Graves, or Federico, the Drake Warden, is a natural leader. He may not realize it, but when he comes to a conclusion, others listen. It's because he thinks carefully and makes judgments accordingly. There's a simple magic to coming to an honest conclusion and expressing it directly. Responsibility is not always fun, nor is it always easy, but we need responsible people to move our way forward. So, that's a long way to come from a street sign, but high school was a long road for these graduating seniors. You didn't merely run down the clock, you didn't merely master academic skills. In a dozen realms, you grew to be generally impressive and virtuous young people. Although I've highlighted just one civic virtue per student, I hope it's obvious to you that you're practitioners of many. If you're reflecting that you didn't exercise all the virtues I listed out, then this is the time to start. You may wonder if I'm trying to set too high of a standard for you. What if you stumble? What if you fall into vice? Fortunately, life and virtue is a practice. There is no end until the end. All there is to try and grow, you're going to fail. You're going to fumble. But the only ultimate failure is ceasing to grow. How will you remember your life? I hope you can look back and realize that your practice of civic virtue led you and your community to be the best version of the self and yourselves. By being fully engaged, paying attention, and acting in your society, you will fulfill your civic duty and the purpose of your life, to leave this world better than you came into it. Thank you, and congratulations to graduating class of 2025. Drive slowly and carefully and support public works.
Next up, we would like to turn it over to our seniors in the band to play Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John. Band members, Mr. Garrett, and student speakers, thank you for your music and your messages this evening. And thank you all, and Mr. Garrett, thank you also for all you've done for this group during their time at Smith Academy. It's no coincidence that they voted for you as their speaker this evening. Before we begin the awards section of this evening, I wanted to take a moment to thank everyone who had a hand in making today possible. A ceremony like this doesn't happen without the hard work and support of many people and organizations. So thank you to the class of 2025 for your help in preparing for and planning this evening. Thank you to Ms. Schanefeld for serving in your role as the class advisor to this graduating class. Thank you to Dr. Boyle for being the graduation advisor. The extraordinary effort that you put into making today happen did not go unnoticed. And that effort has paid off in a beautiful evening for this class. Thank you to class president, Ian Gazowski, class vice president, Emma Czarniecki, and class secretary, Caitlin Graves. Thank you to Riley Malinowski and Jackie McChrystal for the countless hours of preparing materials, lists, award packets, and the million other small details that have gone into making today run smoothly. Thank you to Mark Vollinger and Mike Oates for your efforts in making this place shine. Thank you to the many community groups that support Smith Academy and our students, including STARS, the Smith Academy Athletic Booster Club, the CPAC, the Lions Club, the Hatfield Book Club, the Hatfield Cultural Council, and the Hatfield Agricultural Committee. Thank you to the Hatfield Police and Fire Departments and to the local state trooper barracks for their support and training, which helped keep us all safer. Thank you to the Smith Academy Board of Trustees for your efforts and support of our school. Thank you to the Hatfield Education Foundation for your support of innovative programs and opportunities for our students. Thank you to the Hatfield School Committee. Thank you to the parents and guardians of the senior class of 2025 for raising your children to be the fine young adults you see here, and for entrusting us with the great responsibility of helping them learn. And lastly, to the faculty and staff here at Smith Academy, for all you have done for this class and for all of our students on their intellectual journeys through this school. Now, this year is a special year, not only because this graduating class will leave a profound impact on our community, but because the year 2025 is a perfect square, just like your caps. If you multiply 45 and 45, you will get 2025. Ms. Michael, Dr. LeGrand, and Mr. Patelli will probably be able to give you a little more insight as to the mathematical significance of graduating during the year of a perfect square, but I think it's just pretty neat, and it helps me frame your speech in a square. So whenever we hear the word community here, we often think of shared values and ethics of a group. That's true, but a community is comprised of individual members who collectively, through their actions and their ethos, promote those shared values. This community of 18 graduates that you see is strong because of their individual, unique personalities. And they are unique, not a square among them. In this crowd, we have scholars, we have athletes, we have musicians of the classical and metallic variety. We have artists, we have gamers, we have writers of creative fiction and hard-hitting journalists. We have budding scientists, teachers, and chefs. We have future linemen and coders, and I could go on. One of the things that strikes me as so unique about Smith Academy is that when I speak about the athletes or scholars or musicians or gamers or artists or writers, I'm often speaking about the same exact person. And that's the goal. Whatever your passion or your path in life, the variety of experiences you have had here gives you the foundation for whatever you choose to do. Your path may take you into the workforce or to study computer programming. But man, I bet you will remember Mr. Garrett's lessons about the Treaty of Versailles. Your teachers have given you a well-rounded education, helping to smooth any square edges or angles so that you can leave here being a well-rounded individual. I think I speak for all the staff here when I say that we are confident that you are squared away for a bright future. The last time the year was a perfect square was in 1936, 89 years ago. That year saw the beginning of the Spanish Civil War. It saw the blatant violation of the Treaty of Versailles as Germany reoccupied the Rhineland between World Wars I and II. The specter of global conflict was on the minds of many, and the future was uncertain. As we send you off into the world this year, we are faced again with an uncertain future and conflicts rippling across the world. While many may see a gloomy outlook, I take a more optimistic view. Look at these 18 graduates. Look at yourselves. Throughout your time here, you have shown again and again that when faced with a challenge, you square up and face it head on. By the time 2116 comes around in 91 years, that's the next perfect square, I'm confident that locally, nationally, and globally we'll be in a better place because you'll have a hand in shaping that future. And you're ready. At this point, we'll begin the awards portion of today's graduation ceremony. I'll name the awards an individual has received, followed by the student's name who has received them. After I call your name, please come forward and you can collect your packet with all of your awards. The Class of 1986 Scholarship. The Supporting the Arts in Hatfield Schools, known as STARS, Award. The Helen and John Garska Award. The Stanley A. Malinowski, Albina S. Malinowski, Stanley A. Malinowski Jr. Scholarship go to Madison Zanoni. Promerito, the Boys Athletics Medallion, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Achievement, the Frank Cohan Memorial Award go to Garrett Willard. Promerito, the Seal of Biliteracy with Distinction, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Achievement, the Class of 1977 Scholarship, the Victor and Gertrude Finkowski Scholarship go to Rachel Grogan. Pro Merito, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Excellence, the Women's Club Award, the Class of 1976 Scholarship, the Tyler Scott Bell Memorial Scholarship, and the Helen and John Garska Award go to Robert Slish III. Pro Merito, the Yearbook Medallion, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Excellence, the Maureen A. Den Memorial Award, the Hatfield Emergency Medical Technicians Association Award, the Helen and John Garska Award, the Lisa Swazlowski Leon Memorial Scholarship, the Emily DeShane Memorial Award, and the Hatfield Teachers Association Scholarship go to Emma Czarniecki. National Honor Society, Pro Merito, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Excellence, the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship, the Suzanne M. Kazmirza Memorial Award, the Club TWSW Kazmirza Award, the Suzanne M. Novak Memorial Award, the Hatfield Soccer Association Award, the Helen and John Garska Award, the Florence Bank Scholarship, the James Mullen Sr. Unsung Hero Award, the Pachurik Electric Scholarship, and the Leanne Zygmunt Memorial Award go to Cameron Graves. Pro Merito, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Achievement, the John Lazikowski Memorial Award, the Sherrick Patrick J. Callahan Scholarship, the Helen and John Garska Award, and the Class of 1985 Award go to Jake Wilcox. Pro Merito, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Excellence, the Beverly J. Pay Memorial Award, Supporting the Arts in Hatfield Public Schools, known as STARS Award, the Helen and John Garska Award, the Sean Davey Scholarship, and the Doris Guillemette Award go to Piper Higuera. Excuse me. Salutatorian, the National Honor Society, Pro Merito, the Journalism Medallion, the Seal of Biliteracy, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Excellence, the Maureen A. Den Memorial Award, the Ambassador and Mrs. Robert J. Ryan International Relations Award, the Matthew and Helen Klocko Memorial Award, the Helen and John Garska Award, the Coldwell Banker Community Realtors Award, the Maxwell Modulewski Award, the Frank Abarno Award, and the Sophie Makretsky Award for Academic Excellence go to Lucas Punska. Pro Merito, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Achievement, the John Skarzinski Scholarship, the Dr. and Mrs. Robert Byrne Scholarship, the Helen and John Garska Award, and the Adolf and Anna Kaiser Memorial Award go to Jacob Barkham. National Honor Society, Pro Merito, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Excellence, the Christine and John Adams Memorial Award, the Thurberge Scholarship, the Teddy C. Simorowski Scholarship, the Edmund Shipwreck Jaworski Scholarship, and the Jerusalem Masonic Lodge Scholarship go to Ryan McCoy. Pro Merito, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Excellence, the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship, the Hatfield Lions Thaddeus Ted Cabot Award, the Brenda M. Osley Scholarship, the Beverly J. Pay Memorial Award, the Helen and John Garska Award, and the Smith Academy Band Certificate go to Jack Brady. Valedictorian, National Honor Society, Pro Merito, the Boys Activity Medallion, the All-Around Student Medallion, the Seal of Biliteracy, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Excellence, the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship, the Carol L. Cutter Memorial Award, the Hatfield Education Foundation Scholarship, the Hatfield Ancient Fife and Drum Award, the Helen and John Garska Award, the Sharon and Daniel Barker Scholarship, the A. Corey and Helen Bardwell Memorial Scholarship, the Sophie Makretsky Award for Academic Excellence, the Robert Bob Shea Memorial Award, the Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents Certificate of Academic Excellence, the Smith Academy Band Certificate, and the John Philip Sousa Band Award go to Ian Gazowski. National Honor Society, Pro Merito, the Girls Activity Medallion, the Yearbook Medallion, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Excellence, the Peter the Burge Scholarship, the Edward Petralla Memorial Award, the Hatfield Emergency Medical Technicians Association Award, the Helen and John Garska Award, the Herman Strong Memorial Scholarship, and the Jerusalem Masonic Lodge Scholarship go to Alexa Yagodzinski. National Honor Society, Pro Merito, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Excellence, the Martha Pellisier Boyle Scholarship, the Hatfield Emergency Medical Technicians Association Award, the Helen and John Garska Award, the Henry P. Betzold Memorial Scholarship, the Alfred J. Kaiser Memorial Award, the Victor and Gertrude Finkowski Scholarship, and the Ty Ward Award go to Connor Kowalski. Pro Merito, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Achievement, the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship, the Hatfield Book Club Annual Literacy Award, the Hatfield Education Foundation Scholarship, the Helen and John Garska Award, the Jane Yolen Award, and the Emily Catherine DeShane Memorial Award go to Miles Hainsworth. National Honor Society, Pro Merito, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Excellence, the Hatfield Lions Thaddeus Ted Cabot Award, the Helen and John Garska Award, the Richard M. Sikorsky Memorial Award, the Stars Award, and the Three County Fair Scholarship go to Annabelle Van Giel. Third honors, National Honor Society, Pro Merito, the Girls Athletics Medallion, the Yearbook Medallion, the Seal of Biliteracy, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Excellence, the Sophie McCretsky Award for Academic Excellence, the Club TWSW Kazmirza Award, the Gaudette Family Athletic Award, the Helen and John Garska Award, the Edward J. and Genevieve Wickles Memorial Award, the Smithsonian Caterers and Chowder House Award, the Robert Bob Pelis Memorial Award, the Smith Academy Art Certificate, and the Certificate of Outstanding Attendance go to Caitlin Graves. Next up, we'll be awarding the Sophia Smith Scholarships. This scholarship is awarded by the Smith Academy Board of Trustees. And we have a representative, the president of the Board of Trustees, with us tonight. The scholarship is based on scholastic achievement, on character and dependability, personality, and financial need. So I will call the award recipients up. As I call you up, please come up here. Caitlin Graves. Cameron Graves. Alexa Yagodzinski. And Ryan McCoy. All right. It is now time for the presentation of the diplomas. I'll read the name of each graduating senior, at which point that student can come forward to collect his or her diploma. Ian Gazowski. Lucas Punska. Caitlin Graves. Piper Higuera. Rachel Grogan. Madison Zanoni. Alexa Yagodzinski. Emma Czarniecki. Annabelle Van Giel. Jacob Barkham. Jack Brady. Garrett Willard. Connor Kowalski. Miles Hainsworth. Robert Slish III. Cameron Graves. Jake Wilcox. Ryan McCoy. Mr. Duncan, School Committee. Ms. Holhut, as principal of Smith Academy, it is my honor and privilege to officially inform you that the Smith Academy class of 2025 have successfully fulfilled all requirements set forth by the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, as well as the Hatfield School Committee, and are entitled at this time to receive their diplomas. Seniors, you may now flip your tassel from the right to left of your caps. Congratulations, graduates.
Victory is won, and we sing Congratulations.